Welcome to another live edition of the Global Reality right here on the Global Reality Radio Network. I'm your host, Josh Reeves. Thank you for being with us tonight. Late night Moonbat show here. I think it's probably why I was having some audio issues. That's why I was doing the late night show tonight. I was helping a friend do some recording, and we were doing her tracks and whatnot, and I think some of the audio stuff got messed around, so it kind of takes me a minute to get everything back and up functioning and on the air and ready to go. So here we are, and we are here with you live tonight. We hope you're all doing okay out there. I'm glad you guys are enthusiastic in the chat room. It really makes me feel good that you're enthusiastic in there, because this stuff is not really anything to be enthusiastic about, especially the stuff today. It's like, man, well, obviously, the only thing that anybody's talking about are the midterm elections and all that stuff today. And I'm not going to spend a whole hell of a lot of time talking about that because, it's the same old thing. You know, you've got everybody going after the divide and conquer puppet show and spending all of their resources zeroing in on that. And it's just a big bunch of horse shit, and you know it is. So. But we will be going to the chat room tonight for interactive discussion out of there. So if anybody in the chat room has anything they'd like to throw into the hat tonight, or get my 2 cents on anything else like that, you can definitely do it in the chat room at my website, www.theglobalreality.com. That's www.theglobalreality.com. That is my website where this broadcast originates from. So I'll be going in there and taking things out of the chat room. So anything that anybody wants to talk about. Yeah, Matt fucking nuts today. Everyone was in a bad mood. And yes, Proposition 19 in California went down the toilet. Yeah, everybody was in a pissed off bad mood. It boggles my mind, because I just see so many people on a regular basis who I saw this back in the 2008 elections, presidential elections, and people that 98% of the time, they don't give a shit what's going on in the world. They don't want to know about the information that you may be into. They don't want to talk about what's going on. They don't want to be informed. But right around the time that the phony elections roll around, all of a sudden, everybody is a political expert. And everybody wants to get up in your face and tell you about how you don't know what the hell you're talking about, because you see through the system and you see through the puppet show, and you see that these guys are all two sides of the same coin, working for the same socialist interest. I mentioned yesterday this film, the United States of Money, Casino Jack, about Abramoff and Tom DeLay and the CMP guys. Great. And man, that film, I tell you what, because I remember back when I started exposing a lot of the CMP guys, and I was exposing people like Grover Norquist for what he is, and all the truthers and patriots and all the fucking brainwashed Kool-Aid drinkers came after. Oh yeah, well, you shouldn't be saying that. Grover Norquist is a good guy, and Ron Paul had him at his rally for the Republic, so that must mean he's a good guy. And in this, I forget who it is, but somebody essentially outs Grover Norquist for what I've been saying he is for 3 years. And that is a fucking modern day Stalinist. They call him, they say he's a right-wing Stalinist, Grover Norquist, in that film, Casino Jack in the United States of Money. I'm not kidding. And I got criticized 7 ways to Sunday saying, do you guys see this shit? Do you guys see what's going on here? And how, they're running this operation on you right again in broad daylight, and you guys are too dumb to see it. And, long before I ever even knew a lot of the information I know now, even when I was like 17, 18 years old, I knew somehow, some way in my gut, even though I didn't have the research or the information to back it up, I knew that these guys were both two sides of the same coin. But anyway, I've just seen so many people walking around, all of a sudden political experts. Oh, well, if you don't vote, you can't bitch about it. Or blah, blah, blah. And it's funny. All of the people that I saw bitching at other people for not voting today were people that admitted they were voting as a Democrat. What is this? Republicans don't give a shit if you vote, but Democrats do? Or is it the Democrats feel that they have something to lose more than others? I just don't know. But I wish all of these people, left, right, center, all of them, would realize that the solution to the problems that we seek is not continuing to verify their phony system. And that's exactly what all of this is designed to do, is to get us all to continue to verify and say, yes, thank you, I'll have another. This system is great. It works. I love the system the way it is as it stands now. I love what the government does. And, I'll take it. That's what putting your name in the ballot box does, folks. I don't care if you vote for whoever, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, plastic unicorns. It doesn't matter. Whatever name you put on that ballot, whatever you do when you go in there, verifies to them and says to them that, yeah, I may not have a say and may get to decide who we get to choose from, because, again, they present you with two choices. That's it. You have no say in that. And you vote for rich guy elite bloodline on the left or rich guy elite on the right. And you get to pick between those. And, I think a lot of us who were, probably growing up going to school with people who had, probably people who had relatives that worked in politics or something like that. When you saw the elitism, and you always knew those were the type of people that were running the game. You're voting for plastic unicorns, period. You decided, hey, you know what? Even if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice, right? So I guess we'll take it to that. But anyway, I just love that everybody. And why can't people see that this is the same game they always run? Has it been that long since back in the midterm elections in 2004? That doesn't seem like that long ago to me. I guess to some people it is. But can nobody remember back that far in the midterm elections back in 2004 when everybody was bitching about George Bush and everything else, and they got a Democratic sweep of the House and the Democrats took over and everybody was like, yeah, the saviors are here. They didn't save shit. They didn't change shit. And they're still running that same old excuse that, oh, Bush just fucked it up too much for us. And so it's taking us far too long to clean it up. So let's just blame it on the black guy, you racists. It's no. I love that stuff. I love that. Oh, it's all George Bush's fault. Obama just hasn't had time to fix anything. Horseshit. Neither one of these people are designed to fix anything or do anything for the people. And they just continue it on and on and on, and they do it over and over and over again. And people just go, that's the way it is. You can't change anything. Well, horseshit. You can change something. Quit participating in their goddamn system. Quit waking up every morning and telling these people in charge that their system of control is okay with you and that you're fine with that. And you're fine with the depopulation things that they want to do on this planet and are doing on this planet. And you're fine with wars of genocide in your name, using your tax dollars. You're fine with that. It's not a revolution of guns and let's go overthrow the government with guns. Yeah, let's go overthrow the government with our little pea shooters when they break out high-tech, sophisticated weaponry, pilotless drones and sound cannons and everything else on us. That's not the solution. But if everybody tomorrow didn't participate in their system for one day, you would have a revolution by morning. One that wouldn't take place with guns. If these people don't have your consent, they don't have jack shit. And what do we do every moment of the day? We give them our consent, don't we? We consent to the wars of tyranny. We consent to the genocide. We consent to being ripped off, to being manipulated, to being just milked dry and sent into what amounts to nothing less than indentured servitude. But that's freedom, isn't it? Yeah, that's freedom. That's what you get. That's what you get for being able to vote, isn't it? Yep, that's what you get for being that's freedom. That's what you're going to verify for them. And again, this is going to continue on and on and on. But I think that this system of government is coming to an end pretty soon anyway. The United States government is on the way out. It's everybody in the whole goddamn world knows it but us. And even those of us that claim to know what's going on are still in denial about it most of the time, including myself, although I'm trying not to be more and more. But I have been for a very long time, even though the writing's been on the wall. This country, this country is over. I mean, if that's what the whole fraud of the Patriot Movement and Truth Movement is about, is because they're leading people into believing that if we just fight for it and we just vote for the right people and get the right politicians in there, and again, that's a failure from the outset. A politician is what we need for more problems to the solution of politicians. Does that sound right to you? Because it sure doesn't to me. No, that's not going to solve the problem. But again, that's what they constantly get us doing, is over and over and over and over again in this endless rat wheel. So, you know, all we have to do is continue to understand that, as much as we don't want to admit it to ourselves sometimes, the system of government of the United States of America is on the way out. We're moving in towards a parliamentary system of government like you see in the EU. And that's exactly what the real North American Union is about. Yes, they've signed us into the partnerships and they signed us into all the mechanisms and machinations of control of what the North American Union is going to be back in 2001, the day of 9/11, actually. But we haven't seen the full-blown, full scope of that yet, and that's indeed what is coming. Smaller regulatory bodies, and then that'll, you know, it's just, what's it going to be first? Are we going to see all-out civil war first, or are we going to see the North American Union first? I think we're going to see all-out civil war first. And that's how they will justify it, and they'll justify the shifting around of the new markets and currency and all that, but you know all that. But anyway, so what do we have going on in this chat room tonight? What would you guys like to talk about? I've got news. I'm going to get into the news here in just a bit. It's the usual fare, but do we have anything in the chat room, any topics of discussion?